I'm Steve Turano with Ask a Real Expert. Yummy Coco asks this question. Hey Steve, what's the difference between bulking and toning? I've asked a number of fitness experts, can't seem to get a straight answer. I've even asked my doctor, and he can't seem to explain it to me. Well, Coco, you got to remember that these are basically different degrees of the same thing. It's really semantics. It's really a play on words. As we begin to work out, our muscles become more firm, they become stronger, they get in better shape, and we call that toning. If you continue to work out and as time goes by, you may put on a little size. Do you want to call that bulking? You can. You're interested in increasing the size of your rear end and firming up your upper body. Well, let me say this, and this goes for guys and women. You can only change the shape of your muscles to a certain extent. We can make them bigger, absolutely. But how they're going to look once they're bigger is really predetermined by your body or your genetic makeup. We can't all have J-Lo asses. I mean, we can do lunges and leg press and squats, but if somebody has a flat rear end, they can firm their rear end, they can make it bigger, but it's not going to change the shape so you look like J-Lo. That's just the way it is. Same thing with guys. They can lift hard and heavy, but if they've got full biceps and not a peaked bicep, they're not going to change anything. With regards to bulking and toning, it is a little different for men than it is for women. And here's why. Women don't have as much muscle, they don't have the same muscle structure, and they definitely don't have as much male hormones as men. So women need to train hard and heavy all the time so the results can be seen. Most women don't train very hard in the gym because they're so worried or paranoid about bulking. And you got to remember, women have less muscle, less hormones, less male hormones. So they need to train harder to get better results so they can be seen. Women have a greater percentage of body fat. So by training harder, you recover more, you burn more fat. So with regards to women, I don't even like the term bulking and toning because women can train as hard and heavy as they want and they're not going to bulk up. I used to train this beautiful attorney. She was like 117 pounds and we trained really hard, really heavy. She got to the point where she could bench press 135 and people would see her like 3 and 6 months later and they'd be like, my goodness, you look great. What are you doing? She's just training harder and heavier. So she looked a little more muscular, but she looked more defined. She looked harder. Now with guys, I was talking to a guy today in the gym, and he's like, man, I'm just not getting the results. And he didn't like what I had to say to him because I said, you don't train very hard. You don't train very heavy. You don't train very intensely. So you're getting a little muscular, and you're getting a little stronger, and you look toned, but if you want to become bigger, like a bodybuilder, you got to train a little heavier and harder. So with regards to bulking and toning, it is a little different for guys. If guys train lighter with more reps, they're not going to get as big and they're going to look quote-unquote toned. If they train heavier, they're going to have bigger muscles. Bigger weight creates bigger muscles. But with women, because of the lack of testosterone, the lack of muscle and the change in muscle structure and the fact that they have greater percentage of body fat, they got to train hard and heavy all the time so you can see it. And again, you see many women in the gym training, going through the motions, but their triceps are still soft, their legs aren't that firm, and they're wondering why. Because you got to train a little heavier and with much more intensity. I'm Steve Turano. Train smart, train hard.